welcome to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode number 41. And the title to this episode is, Do You Smell It? The Stench of the Economic Collapse. Today we're going to talk about pretty much everything. And since the gun bill didn't pass, and CISPA right now has passed in the House of Representatives, and it's moving on to the Senate, what is the plan B for the central bankers and the government? What are they looking to do? And we're starting to see what they're trying to accomplish, because they know that the economic collapse is coming, and they need to get these things done before it happens. And you can see it, you can smell it, and it just stinks. And let's just begin by going through some of the news here today, and then I'll get into what I want to talk about of what to expect, what is going to happen now, since everything is, we're seeing a lot going on right now. But right now it looks like the UK is going into a triple dip recession. And economists are projecting that the economy will post a tiny 0.1 to 0.2% growth in the first quarter. I mean, it looks awful. Europe looks awful right now. Cyprus is still under capital controls. And there's another piece of information from Canada that, the Canadian deposits might not be safe. There's no guarantee that their deposits will be safe during a bail-in. And Mark Carney says policymakers are working diligently to devise an international bail-in type of plan. But he also goes on to say that individual depositors, there is no guarantee they would be protected. And we see this here in America and in England with the FDIC Bank of England document. And there's an article today out in Forbes reinforcing this. And they talk about the FDIC Bank of England document again, saying that people are really at their own risk of keeping their money in the banks. And we can see what they're doing. They are putting everything in place. They're making it so when everything falls apart, they're okay, but all the people, not okay. And this is what's happening. This is the stink. This is the stench. And it gets worse. As we can see, you listen to the news, you see what's going on. It really is getting worse. It's not getting better. And I hate to say this, and I've been emailing quite a few people back and forth, and they're telling me that people aren't seeing this, and they're not. But there are a lot that are seeing this. If you look at Google Trends and you type in false flags, it is up like 80% searches for the word false flags. That's amazing. And it goes back all the way to 2004, and it's just a huge spike right now because of what happened in the Boston bombing. And it's funny because from my children that come home from school, their teachers are telling them that it's the North Koreans that did the Boston bombing. That's who they think it is. And they're coming home telling me this. And I'm saying North Korea is not going to put an explosive with nails and other things in a pressure cooker at the Boston Marathon. It makes no sense whatsoever. Out of all the threats they've done and everything like that, they're not going to use that tactic. But let's go further here. While we were asleep the Senate passed a new bill that will support Israel in the attack against Iran. So while the Boston bombing was going on, this passed in the Senate. Amazing to me. And that's not the only thing. We're going to go through a couple other things, but there is a storm coming of war that is so big, it's going to make every other war look like nothing. There is a crash coming so big that 2008 is going to look like a blip. And this is from Mark Farber and Jim Rogers. The Great Depression is going to look like just the Great Depression. This crash is going to look like, holy shit, what the F just happened? That's what it's going to be like. And you can see it from everything that they're doing. China right now is deploying Navy ships to patrol the islands disputed with Japan. So everyone is going into action. Israel is getting ready because they want to go into Iran. They're not waiting anymore. All of these pieces and everything that we hear is starting to move forward. And we can see it here in America. The DHS, which is just unbelievable to me, but there was a report, and I meant to mention this yesterday, and I completely forgot. And there was an article about the phone system going out in Boston. And the article, the title of it was Boston Bombing Outage Rumors Shed Light on Mobile and Internet Kill Switch. And what they're saying is the following: that the Department of Homeland Security denied the existence of Standard Operating Procedure 303, which basically, I guess, gives them the ability to have a kill switch for the Internet and mobile devices. So what this tells me is they already have this in place. They're just not saying anything, because within a moment's notice, the systems were shut down. Right now, when everything starts to happen, they are not going to want us to communicate with each other. They're going to throw the switch on the Internet, and it's just going to go out. One day, you're just going to go, hey, what's going on here? I can't get onto anything. They are getting prepared to do this. And believe me, the DHS is not for the people. The DHS is in place, and we can see them already starting. They're in place to help local governments collect guns, help local governments with specialized drills to control the people. They are in place for everything except the people. And to me, if you don't see it, they are putting everything into action. There was also another report up in, I believe it was Seattle, where on the streets all you see is DHS security vehicles, and they're dressed up like local vehicles, but if you look, it says Homeland Security. But you can tell that they don't care about what's going on. They have no interest in terrorism. They don't care about that. The only thing they continually look upon is the Americans. They look and they say, okay, where are the domestic terrorists? We're watching the Occupy Wall Street people. We are monitoring everything and spying on where are the militias forming, who has guns. This is what they're doing. That's all they care about. And there's proof of this. Now, Janet Napolitano came out and said, they have men of interest seen in bomb video that, they want to talk to them, and they've raised some questions. But what's funny is that on CNN, it just came out that source, 2 people in Boston photos sent to law enforcement agencies are no longer of high interest. So already, because these people, and it was shown on many different reports, and I said it yesterday, that they look like FBI agents, and now some people are saying they're mercenaries. I'm telling you, this was a complete false flag, and what's happening is everyone is reporting it. Everyone has cameras everywhere. The government doesn't know what to do. The news, they're telling the news, telling that we caught suspect, and then all of a sudden they see on alternative media that they have pictures and things of these people, and they had to backpedal and say, oh, wait, we can't do this. They know about this, so now what do we do? All right, let's put them off a little bit longer. And now we have an explosion in Waco, Texas, and I think tomorrow is the anniversary of what happened, the shootout in Waco. So what we can see right now is they're scrambling, and they're trying to figure out what their next step is. Now, also, DHS is supposed to have this terrorism alert system, and if you go to the DHS website, it says nothing. There are no alerts. There is absolutely nothing. This is, they tell people they're doing this, and they don't care about terrorism. They've been doing this since, 2001 or whatever, when it was first formed or something like that? To hear the rest of this report, go to x22report.com. And while you're at x22report.com, visit The People. This is a community of people discussing the economic collapse. Again, go to x22report.com to hear the rest of this report. Thank you.